Day 74 of Doxie and I sailing from New South Wales to Queensland, and yeah, here in the beautiful Tin Can Bay in Queensland, which is the southern end of the Great Sandy Strait behind Fraser Island. If you haven't been watching the videos, I'm here for a week now. I have been, due to my engine mounts giving way on my engine on my yacht Doxie, an Arends 33. So I'm hoping to contact the local marine mechanic tomorrow when he's back, just to ascertain the best way forward. I have done research on various mounts, so I know I've got to get a couple of base plates done as well, and whether they can be machined here or whether I need to order them from overseas or somewhere remains to be seen. So I don't want to jump until I know those facts, because obviously none of this is cheap, and obviously I don't want to respend. Anyway, beautiful day again here. 14 degrees I think when I woke up. I've been waking up with the sun lately, and getting out there with the chamois and just clearing all the condensation off the clears, windows and the solar panel, so everything is just good to benefit from the sun as soon as it gets up, and it feels nice and strong now. So what am I doing? I've got the floor panels up in the cockpit, from the cockpit. I'm just letting them sit in the sun while I swab the decks. So just going through that now, just buckets of salt water which I pull up from the sea, wash it out, a couple of drain plugs back there, so it just washes back out into the sea again. Just crumbs and other bits and pieces that accumulate over time. So yes, into that. Okay, looks like the tide is about to go on the turn, become incoming. I might go for a little explore in Mini Doxie. Yeah, see how far I get. I mean, it's a bit jangling going on a motor for a long time, but yeah, it's a lovely day. So I might just make my way upstream and see what it looks like up there. Got my supplies, bit of food, bit of drink. Oh yes, and repellent. Not that I've really had trouble with any of that so far, but hey, never assume, right? It can change in a heartbeat. Okay, we'll just uncover the motor, but the nice thing to see is that it's pretty well dry, and there's a little bit of moisture down there, but that could even be from overnight condensation, which there's plenty of. So, happy with that. We'll be back soon. This is alright. Look at that. Right, it is low tide. We will go and find the channel. Just go to where the big boats are. Tin Can Bay. You'll see the sandbars exposed there. Tide's literally on the turn at the moment, so I should get a bit of assist going up. Just make life a bit easier. The old push me pull you. That's the thing with the catamaran, eh? You just park them in any old place. Bit of wind over tide, getting a bit splashed here, but hey, that's the worst that can happen. Okay, so back there is the beach where I went to the supermarket. This must be another section of Tin Can Bay up here. Beautiful classic old design. It's even got the port lights in the stern there. So yeah, like a pirate ship. Not really, but yeah. Ratlines. Yeah, very classic. There seems to be another little cove up there where people are. I wonder what's in there. We could go and have a look, possibly. Okay, well, I just looked it up. That's Crab Creek Park. So, yeah, I'll just go and have a sticky beak. You can probably see the bottom. I think I might just, I'm sure I'll be fine, but you know what? I'm coming back this way. Let's do it in higher tide, shall we? There's just no point in making it too thrilling. It's like a pretty cool home to me, with the post-year challenge as well. So we're in the next clutch of yachts and boats now, further upstream than Tin Can Bay. Yeah, nice little haven here. It's yeah, just bush and very well sheltered. So yeah, good spot. Yeah, we leave those boats behind and go past the Sandbar. Nice little shelter place for catamarans in there. Yeah, you go fishing in there. People enjoying the Sandbar. We go up further up the river. On and on it goes. Yeah, there's quite a breeze coming up. It's forecast. Just trying to stick near the Sandbar basically, so just reduce the amount of waves. But yeah, I'm finding the dinghy's actually really good at repelling them, so not getting as wet as I could be getting. Okay, here we are in Doxie Junior. That was well up the sand a few minutes ago. I just stopped for a break, just to have a snack. Koola Creek. Koola Creek. It sounds like songs around here. Cooloola, Malula. Looking further up the Tin Can inlet. And I think it's pointing there. You can't tell what's a point sometimes when you're looking straight at it. Little catamaran over there on the beach. They won't be soon because the tide's coming in very quickly now, because of the gradualness of the slope here. But yeah, look at that. I'm not walking too far from it. I do have an anchor there, which I could have thrown out, but I literally come on here long enough just to walk around, dry off a little bit because it was quite a bit of spray coming up against that wind. So that's all gone now. Just sponged out the bottom of the boat. I'm getting used to now having a dry boat. So yeah, got to maintain that now. Anyway, I think we'll head further up now and see what we can find in the upper reaches. Right, we'll leave our little morning stop behind, go around this little point and back into the main stream. You can see the tide's now rushing into this little arm, the Malula, what did I say? No, Cooloola Creek. So as we turn left now into Tin Can Inlet, we should start having the tide with us again. But with this wind, we're going to get wind over tide again. So we could get a bit damp, but that's okay. It's quite warm and sunny. Let's go and check this out. White stuff could be proper sand. Right. Park or whatever it is here. Come drive on the beach, obviously, at the moment. As you can see, the mangroves here, the tides still. That's Mini Doxie way out there. She's on anchor, but I will go in a little while and just bring her closer in. It just seems too far away for me. But yeah, the anchor's well dug in. Just swinging around. See, got like masts over there. I think the town of Koola is in back of here somewhere. But I'm not sure there's actually a waterway that gets to it. Very hard to tell on the maps. Oh, they've been here. Yes, the fire is fresh. Let's see what we can find around the bend. There was a mention of an old jetty here, and I think maybe this is part of the remnants. Yeah, there was something on Navionics basically warning of this, so there's probably some. Oh, you can see there's more submerged bits out there, so yeah, it could be a hazard. Yeah, nice and peaceful bush coming right up to the to the beach. The sand's not bad actually, so once that tide comes in, yeah, probably be a pleasant place to swim. It's a little bit muddy further out, but you can expect that in these estuarine places. That's what the mangroves kind of tell you, really, isn't it? Ah, lovely. Fair bit of tide to come in yet. Well, it's not too bad. Lunch. These guys are hopeful that I might go fishing and be successful. Yep, he goes round. Oh, that was a nice lunch stop. I'm just doing the lazy thing and letting the breeze blow me away into deeper water. And I'll put the engine down and we'll continue up a bit. It looks pretty choppy out there, so got to be another wet section. You can even hear the waves from here. Okay, there's a lot of wave bashing. I came from back there, it's crashing into the waves. In a little slight creek now, without my reading glasses on, I couldn't tell you what it was. Nice to go with the wind for a bit now. Just come up for a look-see. It's all surrounded by bush. Have a look. Okay, so yeah, just came up to this little inlet. All surrounded by bush and mangroves. Pretty shallow. I'd say you could walk across this bay, pretty much. Not going to. Okay, so we're just coming out of this cove and about to head up, up the Tin Can Creek or Tin Can Waterway. See where that leads to. It's getting tricky now because I've got the waves coming in on the quarter, so I'm twisting every which way. So sorry about the crooked phone, but or camera. Well, I think we've reached the top. Yeah, mangroves. Could be a channel through there. Certainly not something I would take a boat down. So enough of getting wet. That's been bash, bash, bash. I'm soaked. Anyway, I'm warm enough, so that's okay. Yeah, I think we'll head back down, and the wind will be behind us at least. We're surfing with it now. Somewhere up here there's a little turn to the left. Just trying to spot it. I don't know what's there, but hey, we're up there. Let's go and have a look. Must be a creek or something in there because there's mangroves, but nothing worth boating into, that's for sure. Looks a bit like a drunken path, but I'm stopping at beaches and stuff which you can't see on this map. So yeah, it's a big day. Well, that was a big day. Yeah, the wind came up stronger than forecast, so it was quite choppy out there. Looks like I'm a little bit red in the face too. I did put sun cream on, but yeah, wind, sun, all of those things. Anyway, I now have in my head what's further up the creek. I don't know, that's just the way my mind works, you know, what's right up the next corner, what's over the next hill. So yeah, nothing greatly exciting. It's funny though, yeah, the town of Koola is just up there, but it seems to have no contact with the water at all, which is probably only, you know, hundreds of meters away. But there you go, strange. So yeah, it was a nice sort of area of just unspoilt greenery and bluery for the water, greenery for the water too. Brownery when I got shallow. Anyway, it was, yeah, I'm glad I did that. The dinghy's performed really well, really happy with that. I think the motor and the dinghy was a good match. It pushes it along quite well, and yeah, some of those waves up there, we were surfing along. I couldn't video it, but yeah, we were literally, I was leaning forward in the boat and then back, and then it's like, yeah, we've got some, even the engine was surging at some points, basically, because we were just taking off on a wave. But yeah, lots of fun. Anyway, that's the end of Sunday. Sun's just gone down. And tomorrow, hopefully, I can make contact with my marine mechanic guy here, Tim, and maybe get something sorted out, which would be really nice. I've been here just over a week now. Lovely place, but still a bit warmer is what I'm looking for. Those cool mornings, just like, yeah, I remember last year being in the Whitsundays, just like, it was just warm. Anyway, I am not complaining. It's a beautiful place. And there'll be a lot more, obviously. If you haven't, don't forget to subscribe. This is Dawn Raider, out. Thanks for watching another Adventures of Foxy Doxie. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you.